just thought I'd give you guys a quick update in case you're interested. So this is kind of one of the entrances into it, and this is going to be the office space right here. You can see that we have insulated everything, and this is going to help a lot with the sound reduction. This is actually going to be an Airbnb, so there's going to be guests staying down here. So trying to get additional sound reduction between the two floors is super important. This is going to be like a study office area, and then over this way we've got the bathroom. That's going to be over here. One thing I really like about this blown-in insulation is it works really well for the sound reduction. We can do other things with adding some double layers of 5/8 drywall in key areas. One thing that worked out really well is this I'm in this room, and this ceiling is actually dropped. I'm going to flip my camera, see if I can help you guys see a little bit better. So you can see in here, the ceiling is not level, which is on purpose, which is a little bit tricky in all honesty. But we've got a center point right here. We're gonna have a column that's going right here. And you see all of our different chalk lines that are running off. This is where there's gonna be different beams in the ceiling, but these are actually each different planes on the floor right here. So if you kind of look up here, you can kind of start to see where this line comes and meets the column. So at our shallowest point, we came an additional 1.5 inches down from the ceiling. And our deepest, I believe, we're 7 inches down. So this ceiling actually is really insulated. We've got the normal 12-inch depth or so of the floor joists, but now we've actually got additional depth to the cavity, which is gonna make it so that we can make this really soundproof. My insulators went a little hog wild, which is kind of fun, but we've got like the bench is insulated, and I'll show you another spot, but over here in the kitchen, it's all insulated. We did opt to insulate the interior walls on this, and that will help keep the sound in the different rooms and just make the whole space quieter. It's been interesting as we've been working down here. We kind of get a little lost trying to find each other because we're not totally sure what room everybody's in because it's so dang quiet. Sorry, coughing. This is going to be that reading nook, and we've actually insulated this. That's got a ton of insulation up in there, which is going to help with the sound reduction. This is the theater room. Unfortunately, we have a bedroom right above this for the clients, and then they're going to have their Airbnb guests down here. So we are looking at doing the double layer 5/8 sheetrock on the ceiling in here, which is going to help with that. There's different things you can do with like Z channel and a few other things. I just haven't, in my experience, seen the Z channel really pay. I feel like you kind of get diminishing returns. You can put a lot of money into getting your basement to be quiet, but after a while, you're just throwing money at just very, very micro increments of decimal reduction, if that actually makes sense. I don't even know if that word makes sense, but in here, this is gonna be the bedroom. They actually decided to do this one as a curved arch theme too. Random thing about these doors, these are all custom sizes, and the spring of these arches is all custom on all of these. So what we actually had to do is we had to template all these doors. So we actually took, I took some RAM board and I like taped it, well, actually I stapled it up on there, and I had to trace it. And that way we know the exact curve of these doors, which is gonna be a lot of fun. And then also, we've got this walkout that's gonna be right over here. Originally, I'll flip the camera. Originally, this was just a smooth wall, but as we were looking at it, we're like, you know what? There needs to be an entrance right here. And we wanted this to be like a perfectly curved arch. We didn't have the height for it. So we kind of had to opt out for a different solution where we do have this curving, and then when we hit a certain point, the actual curve changes, and we have it coming up into this. We have a beam that's gonna be going over there, which is gonna kind of hide this transition. But when you're walking in, there'll be, you'll see a little bit of a flat edge right here, which we actually think will look really good when it's all said and done. We don't have the door yet. We have a really fancy steel door that's coming, and it's getting made custom for us. So we temp this up. I put some plywood up and then 2 different layers of this rigid foam insulation, which is just to keep things warm in the meantime, which is always nice. But anyways, just thought I'd give you guys a quick update of what we've got going on here. We've got sheetrockers coming tomorrow or the next day to start stocking the material in, and then the space is going to look very different very quickly. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one.